relevant, I suggest you go back to school, go into your local library, get the biggest dictionary you can find, preferably Merriam-Webster. What the fuck? Ladies and gentlemen, this just might be technical difficulties. This doesn't happen with my computer as much. Hold on 1 second. I don't know what the heck is. Wait.
Welcome! Welcome!
No!
Welcome!
No! Fuck!
Welcome!
Why? Why today? Why today? Why?
Welcome!
Why? Why? Why?
Once again! Folks, did you miss me? After 96 days without your uncle! Your uncle! You are looking at the captain! That's right, the captain! Right here of Saturday afternoon's main event! Because once again, the Uncle Triple C era is back right where it belongs! Because, hey, Phenomenal One! How's your car? How's your car? It's great
Who the
to be
are you
back.
talking about?
Hey, Phenomenal One. Yeah, that's right. You only speak when I tell you to speak. You remember back last year. You would mute me. You did everything that you wanted to do against me because I am still your Uncle Triple C, back right here on Saturday afternoon's main event. Well, Phenomenal One, you can talk now. Go ahead. You can speak.
You son of a...
Hey. Listen, here's the bottom line. The intellectual property that Mr. 411 spoke about a couple of months ago, it is in full effect because once again, Uncle Triple C back right here on Saturday afternoon's main event. But we do have two other co-hosts. Phenomenal One. It looks like you don't want to speak. Looks like you have nothing to say. What's the problem?
Shut up! I don't speak. I'm the host, right? I'm the host. I know this. Listen to me. No, you listen. You shut your mouth right now. I'm speak. Because if anything, I got to introduce my co-host. So I'm going to allow me the time to speak. Thank you very much. Anywho, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, look. Of course, you know my co-host, my brother from another mother, dimension, limousine riding, jet flying, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, son of a gun. You do not know who he is. Most of you that do know, give him 2 claps to the Peeps, Nate. Peeps, I'm so sorry for this introduction. I can't right now.
I understand. I definitely was not expecting this, but hey, it happened. As I've always said before, the most professional thing we can do is give these people the show that we normally would give them.
Hi, Peeps, Nate. How are you, Nate?
I'm doing fine. How's the liquid courage doing? I haven't seen you pick that up in a little bit.
That's all right. Welcome, Nate, to my program that you still call Saturday afternoon's main event. Go ahead.
Yes.
Phenomenal.
Anyway.
You may continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, of course, the Peeps Nation, this SOB, Uncle Triple C, whatever you want to call him, is not our only co-host. We have another co-host.
Hey. Once again, Phenomenal One, you shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. Because for the past 3 months, for the past 96 days, there's only been one person that has had my back, that always wanted me on this program. So let me introduce to the viewing audience, to me, he is a good friend of mine. To you guys, he is Mr. 411. Welcome.
It is so good to have Uncle Triple C back, and I must say, I love you, Uncle Triple C.
right back at you, Mr. 411.
Listen, it's so good to have. Look, we got Mr. Dementia there in the bottom. He doesn't even know where he is or who he is. We got the greatest curtain jerker. What is it? House show curtain jerker host. And now we have, you know what I just heard? Uncle Triple C, did you hear that? I heard clicks.
Exactly.
People wanting to watch the show again. Clicks. Because these two tried their best to kill it. They tried to kill it. And now it's alive.
Because once again, your uncle is
I'm sick and tired of this shit.
here.
Shut up!
Afternoon's main event.
Shut up! Shut up! Just shut up! Just shut up! Shut up!
Oh, shut up. Because, Phenomenal One, we all know all the handles. We know everything here because if you've been watching, you've been tuning in, you all know all the information here on Saturday Afternoon's main event. But hey. But first thing is first, because I know for 96 days, the people have missed your uncle because I'm going to toast for the first time in 96 days that once again, hey, Phenomenal One, look at me, look at your uncle. I am toasting for the simple fact that you may be one of the co-hosts, but you are still a piece of hot garbage.
Hey, Phenomenal One, is it true that Twitter and X and everything else is blowing up right now with the return?
Shut up!
Admit it. The numbers are increasing as we speak.
Christopher Morton, I beg of you, can you please shut your trap for once? Can't anybody do something right today?
Is it your boy Nate, the voice of reason? Nate, would you?
I'll give you the voice of reason. And I'll continue to say it like this. No matter what egos run rampant on this show, we still do this show for the people that are tuning in to get laughs, good times, and all the wrestling news possible. That's the tagline we use for the show. And we should kind of bring this down and actually get our show going. We're 11 minutes in. Let's actually give them a show.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we're so sorry for all of the camaraderie and BS that's been transpiring within the last 11 minutes. Look, when you hear that sound, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for one thing, and one thing only. It's time for...
You shut your mouth! Let me introduce! It is now time for
Wrestling Crash Course.
First topic of the day. Hey, you don't drink, Nate. You do not drink. This is my program.
You know what? No, okay, this is getting too far now. This is genuinely getting too far. I'm still the host. He gets the drink, okay? Leave him the hell alone. You hear me? Pigs drink.
Yeah.
Anywho, first topic of the day, ladies and gentlemen, within the last 2 weeks, we've had several new champions in the world of WWE. Everything spanning from Raw, spanning to SmackDown, spanning to NXT, and once more back again to SmackDown. We have new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. We have the new NXT Women's Champion. We have a new United States Champion. And of course, a new Women's World Champion in Io Sky. Now look, peeps, being that you're my beloved co-host, I would ask for you to go ahead and start this off. What do you think about the title changing hands and all of these 4 respective different divisions while we are on the road to WrestleMania?
First of all, it thoroughly freshens everything up. We don't go into the WrestleMania season with a lot of the same old, where everybody was expecting Rhea Ripley to go in as women's champ in her match with Bianca Belair. We know there were a lot of things happening with other championships being moved around. Even more so, I'll give you another one. For those that watch TNA, Cora Jade won the Knockouts Championship over Masha Slamovich. So you got a lot of title changes that are happening, and it actually moves things forward and also makes the product less predictable. Going in, fresh matchups, fresh changes, and also the Street Profits. winning the tag belts. First time they've had the belts in, what, 4 years?
Yup.
That's crazy. Long overdue.
Long overdue indeed. Long overdue indeed. Mr. 411, you're down there. Go ahead, speak. How do you feel?
Yeah, a lot of it's good. It's good to, like Nate just said, to refresh everything. Not only that, to make you want to watch, because now you're like, okay, well, it's so predictable, nothing's gonna happen. And we remember the Attitude Era. Title changes. Listen, was it a bit much back then? Sometimes it was, right? I mean, you'd have 3 different title changes each night for a month straight, and that was courtesy Vince Russo, of course, and his chaotic Crash TV booking. I have it occasionally. It's still refreshing. And I like the whole Rhea Ripley dynamic in just terms of shaking it up. And now as we see this story transpire, I really do believe, and it kind of came out a little bit, that we're going to get a triple threat match. So, I mean, that's just, I saw the way that was happening with Io Sky pointing to the sign, pointing to Rhea, and pointing to Bianca, that triple threat match. The LA Knight title was interesting from the standpoint of they did nothing with Nakamura. Nakamura was champion for how long? And we saw him on TV, 3 times?
Yup,
Yeah.
94 days.
It was such a waste of a title reign. I don't know what the thought process was behind it. I don't know if they forgot about him. Like, did they forget he was the champion? It was like,
Maybe they just popped a rating to make him a transitional champion to build him up, just to knock him down again.
Pop a rating. I don't know if it popped a rating. I don't think people cared that Nakamura won the title. I think more people were surprised that he won the title. Like, the guy was never put in a position. So it's been years, let's be honest, since Nakamura has been booked to be a serious contender for anything, going back to his NXT time, his early WWE time, main roster. And he's been essentially, I don't want to say he's been a joke, but he's been a glorified jobber. He's lost so many matches he's been with the company in recent time, and his win over LA Knight, it just made no sense. But again, just to shock people, whatever. And just to give LA Knight, as we talked about, the chase, right? Chase from behind, get the title, people care more. But I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna see Nakamura again. And kudos to the Street Profits. And I didn't see the NXT. You guys can talk about that. But it's unfortunate they couldn't give the Street Profits the tag titles in Black History Month, though, right? Come on now, we had to wait till now.
Oh, brother.
Talk about it.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Zing! To Mr. 411's point, Street Profits, 4 years, like you said, Nate, long overdue. We'll see going forward. Will this lead to a 4-way at WrestleMania, or will it lead to a program? Because it was interesting, because after they won, they went off the air, circling through social media. It was interesting. I don't know if it mean anything, but when Profits were celebrating with the fans, Montez said it's a new day, winning the title. So I don't know what that meant, or that meant something about New Day possibly going one-on-one with them. We'll see what transpires with that. As far as Rhea Ripley, Bianca, and obviously Io, yeah, it looks like it's going to be a 3-way. Me personally, I feel like they're making Io look weak, at least so far in the first encounter at Madison Square Garden on Monday Night Raw. Because to me, the money match, I don't care what anybody says, it's Bianca versus Rhea, one-on-one. But it looks like it's going to be a 3-way at WrestleMania. That's what it's pointing to. And as far as the NXT Women's title change, I'm sure that hot garbage will allude to as far as the reason why the title did change hands. But that NXT crowd and that title change, again, because of the injury, obviously that's why it did take place. And we'll see what happens after that. So, hey, hot garbage, you been kind of mute. Is there anything you want to spew?
Yeah. First and foremost, you couldn't wait for me to freaking address you? Don't get it twisted. Intellectual property or not, this is still my freaking show.
Intellectual property. Oh, by the way, speaking of intellectual property, what happened to that CTB guy, Corey the Brain? What happened to him? Yeah. Corey, fuck you.
Peeps, I'm sick and tired of this shit. Peeps, I am sick and I am tired. You know what? I digress.
Let's get through the show. Let's just get through the show.
I'm not even going to worry about it. Look, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for the first part of it. The second part, of course, still in the world of WWE. If you watched SmackDown last night, you would see that there were 2 vignettes that popped up on your screen during the show. One more dark and ominous, the other one of a figure standing on the top rope with lightning going ahead and kind of like hitting on every edge of the screen. Fans have made it out to believe that one of them is Rey Fenix, the other one is a returning Aleister Black. Peeps, once more, back to you. Do you feel that those predictions are kind of right? Do you feel that that's where WWE is going? Or do you feel that it may be other individuals?
Yeah, I think that's where they're going. And I think that we know at some point, as far as the differentiation between SmackDown and Raw, we know that although we have Penta on Raw, we know that the luchador angles and a lot of that seem to get better ratings on SmackDown. So to have Rey Fenix potentially show up for SmackDown whenever that is, and probably initially put him on Raw because we know that the American-made angle and the whole luchador thing with Chad Gable of going into being a luchador, we know about that on Raw. That's where they're going to head. As far as Aleister Black, the thing that I find intriguing about that vignette that they did is that they showed black screen with smoke, and then they showed the number 4. I'm guessing, this is just my personal opinion, that maybe it's a countdown, 4 weeks until he debuts, which would probably be the week of WrestleMania, maybe shortly after, if that's where they're going. And they could definitely use another great talent like that on their roster. So I think that's where they're headed with that.
I feel the same way. Chris?
Yeah, I'll be quick with this. I think we know who it is. I think more importantly, though, the rich get richer, right? More talent comes in because these shows, we have 3 hours, a lot to fill for now, as long as it's 3 hours. And as long as they're booked correctly, we all talk about the pandemic with Paul Heyman trying to do his best with Aleister Black and the young guys, and Vince couldn't handle it because the ratings dropped a little. So now we get to see a little bit more out of these guys being produced. Because as we talk about in AEW, there's no production meetings. There is no producing. So now we get to see what guys can do while being given somewhat of a script.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. 4-1, I do agree with you. As far as Nate saying 4 weeks, I mean, possibly. That 4 has to have a more significant meaning. We'll see what transpires. As far as Rey Fenix, well, I mean, it's clear as day that he is coming. And by the way, last Monday night, I just want to just say that Chad Gable did not do anything. Chad was innocent, as you saw. He did not interfere. He did nothing. That's all I have to say about that. Phenomenal One, do you care to chime in? Or we can go to the next segment. So let's go to the next segment. We don't need to hear what you have to say. Next segment.
What an imbecile. Why did I have such basic
It's been a great 16 hours for you, Phenomenal One.
Shut up, Chris.
Watch your mouth.
Anyway.
Hot garbage.
Oh, you shut up. You shut up. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Okay? Can we just get to the next topic, please?
The intellectual property is in here. Okay, Phenomenal One.
Right here, too. Right here, Mike.
Now, anyway, so the next,
shut up!
Can we check Nate for a pulse? Are you there, Nate? Are you alive?
Yes, I'm still here.
Anywho. Last topic of the day, still in the world of WWE. If you watched Raw this past Monday night hailing from Madison Square Garden in New York City, you would know that Roman Reigns returned in the main event, which was the steel cage match between Seth Rollins and CM Punk. You would know that he went ahead and costed Punk the match by exiting Rollins out of the cage, proceeding to attack him, delivered a vicious curb stomp, and then proceeded to attack CM Punk, who was being attended to by a certain wise man and Paul Heyman in the ring. Raw ended off the air with Roman Reigns going ahead and standing tall. I think we know that this is going to go ahead and definitely lead to that triple threat match at WrestleMania. But how do we feel that the story is going ahead and going? Chris, I'll start with you here.
So people believe this would be the triple threat match at WrestleMania. That's what a lot of people are saying, because I haven't been. I work
yes,
in
a lot of
jobs
people are
in
saying
Jamaican. So, yeah, I know. So yeah, okay. So I just wanted to talk about the match itself, not more so the storyline. There were a couple of things that bothered me in the match. I just want to nitpick here because I like to protect the business, and AEW sometimes doesn't understand that, and they lose the plot. in this match, while I understand paying homage to the great Randy Savage, I felt like CM Punk dropping 3 elbows on somebody and not beating them. It bothered me. It kind of, I don't want to say it was a slap in the face to Randy Savage because I know that's not Punk's plan, but you have to think about what that move once meant. And you can't just do it 3 times and not beat someone. If anything, he should have had him roll over to the side and not kick out, like put a foot on the rope. Have some respect for that finish. So that bothered me a little bit. And then the two of them, listen, you can say what you want about this match, okay? Whether you thought it was great, good, average, you just can't kick out of the other person's finish as much as they did. I know Uncle Triple C, you're going to disagree with me in a second, that's fine. But it's too much. I feel like they killed their finish. I think going forward now, just based on this match, they got each guy has to come up with a new finish. It was just overkill for me to see that. I didn't like it. And then last but not least, the finish itself. If Roman Reigns is going to come down and interfere in this match and beat Seth Rollins half to death, it is okay. Perfectly okay. Now, I know Punk and Rollins have their differences behind the scenes creatively, and I'm sure they work together just to make each other somewhat happy, right? There's nothing wrong in this position for Seth Rollins to lose. It only adds fire to the fuel to the fire, for the triple threat match. You cost me a match, Roman Reigns, against my hated rival. I lost because of you, not a DQ. I don't want to see a DQ finish in a cage match. I said my piece.
All right, phenomenal, Christopher Morton. Let me say this. Phenomenal One, I don't want to hear your opinion. But Mr. 401, let me say this. Number one, this is why I do disagree with you. It has been I don't want to say a blood feud like it was Punk and McIntyre, but this feud obviously has lasted from last year when Punk returned until this past Monday night. Now, the finishers, to me, this is where it kind of made sense to me, where, okay, you had both guys kicking out of each other's finishes. Now, I understand you talking about the Macho Man elbow drop and protecting that. But then again, me and you, we had this conversation. And when I said to you, I was like, okay, Take the Snake Roberts DDT has become just a common move. You know what I'm saying? That was in the 80s. I'm saying going into the 90s, that was one of the most devastating finishers in this business. Paul on the pile driver.
With 3 elbow drops. 3, not 1. 3.
And that's fair. That is fair. And granted, that is not Punk's finishing move, but I understand what you're saying. But the other aspect of it, like, it has been such a bitter feud between those two guys. So both of them kicking out of each other's finishers. In this particular feud, I felt that it made sense. As far as Rollins being pulled out by Roman Reigns, and actually it was not a DQ. Actually, Seth Rollins got the W in a cheap way, but he did get the W. I'm saying in that cage match. So now you have Punk and Rollins tied at 1 with as far as 1-on-1. But also it does add a reason why you're gonna have Punk to obviously in a 3-way, because now you're gonna have Punk having his issues with Roman Reigns, because obviously we saw what was in the ring, Heyman and Punk. I'm saying it, and I guess Heyman was consoling Punk, and then maybe a jealous Roman Reigns, and now we're going to be heading towards a 3-way. But to me, I feel that in that particular match, cage match, normally that's what ends the feud, but obviously it's going to be a continuation heading into WrestleMania. Steve Sage, your thoughts?
What I actually also think is more important is the fact that they now have to address this favor, which Wade Barrett did a great job of reiterating when he talked about it. It's like, you know what? This favor that is supposed to be there, what's going to happen? How are they going to address this favor that Heyman apparently owes Roman Reigns at some point? What is that favor? I should say that owes CM Punk. We're going to probably find that out as a prominent storyline beat over the next week or two. I think going in to the real build of WrestleMania before they finally announce this potentially being a triple threat. And we have all at various points talked about triple threats being overdone, and it's usually a title match. This would be one of those rare opportunities where you don't see a triple threat have a championship attached to it. And I think the last triple threat that I can remember was the WrestleMania that they did in Arizona. If you remember, it was all three members of Legacy. It was Ted DiBiase Jr., Randy Orton, and Cody Rhodes. All wrestled against each other in a triple threat. No belts were on the line in that one. So it can be done. The question is, has the triple threat three-way been overly done going in? We've all talked about it being lazy booking, but this makes sense because of the combustible elements involved within this feud.
You're not wrong, peeps, but damn it, man. Did you really have to answer to him? Like, really? Like, come on.
Nate. Yeah. Great story, phenomenal. Can you get to the ratings?
Shut up!
Can you get to the ratings, Nate?
Wait, what the? Why is my name Hot Garbage? No, we're not. Who the hell changed my name to Hot Garbage? Who in the blue hell changed my name?
Cameraman.
Well,
the captain is making sure that things are back to normal under the umbrella of the Uncle Triple Sierra. Now, Nate, please.
we've got this. I'll get to the ratings. We'll start off.
Why are you still answering it?
You got to remember, we got a show to do, and we have to try to be as professional as possible, even with all of this drama going on. What have I always told you about? The people that watch this show, they're the ones that want to watch what we give them. We do it better than anyone else, so let's continue to do it that way.
Whatever.
Yeah, give us the ratings, Skia Bone.
Okay, I'll give you the ratings. I'll start with NXT, which last week did 698,000. This week they did 732,000, and their demo was 0.15. As far as AEW did 628,000, but their demo went up by 0.16.
As the rating, it was a 60 something last week.
They did 600,000 last week.
Right.
So the rating did go up, but it's still that they've been dabbling between 560, 570, and 620, 630. So that seems to be the new threshold for AEW Dynamite.
Okay, so that's the ratings, ladies and gentlemen. That marks the end of Wrestling Crash Course. Of course, this marks the end to the first half of Same. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back from our break...
Whoa.
Not a fucking again. Are you serious?
Wait just a second, because you see, I have a great cameraman. So, yes, we are going to go to break. But, Mr. 411, this is for you because, this show has had a lot of intros, a lot of different intros, but this is the true intro of Saturday afternoon's main event. Cameraman, hit the intro.
Hi, guys. That was amazing. That's why people tune in. People don't tune in to see these two fall asleep during the show. Come on.
Mr. 401, yes. A toast to you, one of the original hosts of Saturday afternoon's main event.
The energy that we bring to the table.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mr. 411.
No, I'm saying Nate's over there looking like he needs his next shot of Viagra.
So, hello, everybody. Welcome back to the second half of Saturday afternoon's main event. For the first time in 96 days, your uncle, Triple C, has returned. And, of course, my co-host, my beloved co-host, I I have Mr. 411. Oh, Hot Garbage, you wanna?
Hey, yo.
Hot Garbage, you wanna say anything? Okay. Well, hey, Nate. Do you wanna give the handles here on Saturday afternoon's main
Do
event?
something, Mitch.
Oh, good Lord. Okay, I'll do that. I can't believe. Anyway, if you want to get in contact with us through the show through our various handles, at Instagram is Saturday afternoons _main event. If you want to get us on X, that is at Saturday Main. If you want to get us on TikTok, that is Saturday Afternoons ME. Phenomenal one. I understand. This is a tough one. So at least we're still pulling the show. We're still pulling the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, now we've gotten to that part of the show where we introduce the questions that you, the fans, have graciously given to us to at least administer here on Saturday afternoon's main event. If you want to be a part of the action and you want to go ahead and send in a question, all you got to do is one thing and one thing only. DM us on Instagram at Saturday afternoons _main event. Send in the question, and in the words of the wrestling god, WWE Hall of Famer JBL, it will be shown on the next episode of the show.
And also, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you get your Merriam-Webster dictionary, you can look up hot garbage in the dictionary, and there'll be a picture of the phenomenal one.
Exactly. I agree. Mr. 411 always providing the correct information right here on Saturday afternoon's main event. So now let's get to the first question of the day. Nate?
Oh boy. Okay. I'll take it from here. This is from Master Sean 007. Greetings, gentlemen.
Hey! No!
Nope. You got that on your own. You finish stroking your ego, you can stroke your ego on your own. I'm not going that far. That's on you. Anyway, next week is March 20th. Not only is that the day me and Homicide share a birthday on, but that is the day that he's having his last wrestling match. What I'd like for you guys to take a moment to reflect on his career accomplishments.
Peeps, look, as a dear friend and as a co-host, and with you being the Gardner Wrestling Encyclopedia, would you have the honor of going ahead and speaking about Homicide?
Yes. Homicide has been one of the great, not only independent wrestlers out there, but also when he was able to wrestle on TNA, which a lot of people would remember with LAX and that tag team when he was in TNA, doing so many different things. A very good innovator of wrestling moves. We all know the Vertebreaker, which is one of the moves that we know that Hurricane Helms was popular for. But Homicide was the first one that I saw use that move, and he actually initially called it the Gringo Killer. So that move, I said that was the first person that I saw do the move.
Wait. I thought it was originally called the Cop Killer.
Oh yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, and then he changed it up on the Independence because of reasons. But yes, he is been on the Independence for a long time. Wrestled in Ring of Honor, wrestled in TNA, wrestled in GCW, wrestled in a lot of different promotions. We know what kind of athlete, what kind of wrestler he is, and how important he is to the business. Multiple time tag team champion in TNA, along with Hernandez, along with, if you remember, the original members of LAX, with the what they call themselves in AEW, the Proud and the Powerful, with Santana and Ortiz. So Conan being the manager, being part of that group. So yes, he has a distinct career in this business and should be recognized for that.
I remember his Ring of Honor run, specifically a great feud he had with Steve Corino, where they had a fight without honor, and it was a bloodbath of bloodbaths. So yes. Homicide's definitely had a great career. And I guess, is he technically retired? What's his status? I haven't seen him in forever.
I guess he's kind of floating around. I did see a match that he had recently within the last, I guess, year. So he's probably winding it down to some degree. I remember some of the matches that he had with Low-Ki, which were also very, very violent and very hard hitting. So yes, those are the kinds of matches that he had, that he would have, and he should be, as I said before, recognized for a lot of the things that he's done.
Another guy that vanished, Low-Ki, by the way. Homicide also trained Low-Ki, for those who don't know.
And there you go.
So that means that's the end of the...
I will not address Master Sean 007 because you did not acknowledge your uncle. So now let's get to this next question.
Wait.
Okay.
He didn't acknowledge who?
You heard me, hot garbage.
And goddamn fucking mayor, shut up! You hear me? Shut up! No one cares right now. Do you understand that? Can you get that to your fake skull? No one cares. Shut up! Shut the blue hell up!
Are you okay, Phenomenal One?
Yeah.
No!
A gasket.
I'm not! Does it look like I'm okay? Look at my face! Does it look like I'm freaking okay?
Do you need a hug?
Shut up, Chris!
Mr. 411, I will toast to once again of good health.
You know what you should do with that toast?
Uh-oh.
Make sure you drink it real nice. Shut up the glass. Turn that some bitch sideways and stick it straight up your cat ear because I'm sick and tired of you. Shut up! Last question for today on today's show comes from Tombstone City Adam. And he says, nearly 30 days away from Mania, aside from Shawn Michaels, who can currently make the case for being Mr. WrestleMania for the new generation? Chris, I'm going to beg of you, can you please answer this question without having to go ahead and do any of your sneak dissing or any of that BS? Please.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking. I'm actually thinking. I don't.
As you think, Mr. 411, just give me a second.
Sure.
Hey, hot garbage over there. You make sure when you address my boy, Christopher Morton, you address him correctly because he is Mr. 411. And the bottom line, he always provides the correct information, and I'm glad he's let me go.
He's gone.
Now, let me, Mr. Forward, as you continue to think, let me just say one thing about the new Mr. WrestleMania. I actually think of the new Mrs. WrestleMania. And to me, the person that first comes to mind is Bianca Belair. Because I look at her as the new Mrs. WrestleMania because she's undefeated so far. I believe she was 4-0, 5-0, whatever it is at WrestleMania. And I fully expect her to continue that streak at WrestleMania. Hey, Nate.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm saying this. I actually agree with you on that. I cannot believe that.
What? Because that hot garbage is not there.
It has nothing to do with you. First and foremost, the reason why Bianca Belair is probably right now the way that she has been portrayed, I've said this on this show for years, that the women's division is the backbone of the company. And what we're starting to see now is an evolution of where the talent, how they're portrayed, how the women are portrayed. And that's going in that aspect of having those kinds of memorable matches that you can see. And a lot of people thought that was going to be Becky Lynch, but Becky Lynch has been off of TV for a while. And Bianca Belair is having those kinds of matches. Not only those kinds of matches, she's starting to have those kinds of storylines. That makes perfect sense in that degree.
Mr. 4-1?
Yeah, in terms of performance, not so much a winning streak or any kind.
Yes.
I mean, I think Seth Rollins has to be up there, right? In terms of his in-ring work being on that level of what HBK would provide us in a ring.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's fair.
And he's doing it with regularity.
Hey, hot garbage. Would you like to chime in now that you have actually returned?
Shut up. I've had it up to here with you. I don't even feel any need to even answer a question, but you know, for the sake of the fans, I'm gonna finish off this show. I'm not taking addresses from you because last time I checked, I'm the host.
Host.
I speak when I feel like speaking. I address when I feel like addressing. Currently, right now, I'm not going to address because you picked on me to address. So in that case, call it defiance, call it bullshit, and call it whatever you want. But at this point, I digress. I don't feel like talking right now. Do you understand that? Thank you.
So fans,
shut up!
fans,
Shut up! Shut up!
look at him. He looks
Shut
like he's very
the hell
incompetent.
up! Shut up!
You know what he's mirroring right now? Solo Sikoa, a man with no family, a man on his own. Just Solo Sikoa right there.
Chris, who asked for your 2 cents? Nobody, exactly. Cricket.
The fans
Shut
always.
the fuck up! Shut up! Shut up!
Nate, you got to check on your boy, Nate. Nate, your boy is
Why don't you
like.
check yourself? Check your taxes. Check your ex-girlfriend. Jesus Christ! Freaking 40-year-old virgin. When's the last time you got laid?
Wow.
Shut up!
He's really losing it.
Yeah.
So, hey,
That's
Tombstone City Adam, thank you very much for that question. So, the next topic, I'm saying, leading to right here on Saturday Afternoon's Main Event. Don't forget to always like and subscribe. And the fact that Joko is back here on Saturday Afternoon's Main Event. So, of course, the final topic of this program. But you see, this is where me right now, I will fade to black because I know now you guys are about to talk about AEW.
Yeah. Uncle Triple C is not a big fan.
That piece of cookie crap.
I warned the people it was going to be that kind of a show.
And intellectual
there it
property,
is.
he can leave anytime he wants.
Can I at least get my name changed back, you freaking piece of crap?
Well,
Can you get them to change my name back at least? Do something right.
Look, phenomenal one. Just the one thing that you learn in what we do is patience. That's all.
You know what?
Patience. Remember, I had to deal with that for 2.5 months. Patience.
At least the son of a gun changed my
Patience.
name.
Patience.
At least he changed my name back.
There
So,
we
ladies
go.
and gentlemen, we've now reached that part of the show. With 13 minutes left, we're gonna go ahead and speak about last week's AEW Revolution pay-per-view, hailing from, of course, the Crypto.com arena in beautiful
Great
Los
crowd.
Angeles, California.
Great
Yes.
crowd.
Amazing
Atmosphere.
crowd, start to finish. Matches, of course, were great, except for that main event, which I feel as if was truly abysmal. Especially thinking that match went over Fletcher and Ospreay, Omega and Takeshita, and
Right.
a beautiful Hollywood ending between Tony Storm and Mariah May, which I
Incredible.
felt like that should have been the main
That
event.
should have ended the show. That could have ended the show.
Tony
I'm
Khan
glad
was
that you
asked.
agree, Chris. I think you agree as well.
Tony Khan was asked about that, and I think ultimately, I get why he didn't do it, just because they had already given the ladies the main event on the Grand Slam show, right? Is that the case?
I believe so, but also I think even though there's precedence in the fact that he hasn't had the world title be the main event of a pay-per-view, if we remember, I believe it was last year, Moxley and Orange Cassidy for the International Championship main evented a pay-per-view last year. So there's that precedence that he doesn't necessarily have to have a world title match as the main event. But I have always been of the mindset that if you're going to have a pay-per-view and the most important championship in your company is being defended, that should be the main event, unless there's a feud that supersedes that importance of that world championship. And there were a couple of matches that I think were probably more important than Moxley and Copeland. That's how I felt watching.
I agree. Well, from there,
No, I mean, okay, to be fair, the match itself wasn't horrible. The finish is what made it
the
worse.
finish was bad. Yes, the finish
Yes.
was bad. I mean, everything from Christian Cage having to cash in, leading to Copeland not getting pinned, Of course, Moxley didn't go ahead and get pinned,
Right.
but it ended in Christian Cage tapping out, which I felt as if the only reason he probably should have lost the match would be to a returning Luchasaurus, who was backstage, if I may add, at AEW Revolution.
And don't forget about the tease of Jay White. Remember, that tease was there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which genuinely, I felt as if anything, if somebody should have probably signed their name on that contract, it should have been Jay White. It would have went ahead and kept the story a little bit closer, because now it seems like, okay, Jay White was really trying to go ahead and truly be a babyface here by going ahead and trying to save Copeland. Ended up going ahead and, attacking Copeland by accident because Moxley ducked out the way. Everything that happened within that finish was just abysmal. That's just me.
Let's focus on the good of the show for once. So AEW,
Absolutely.
Yes.
Which let's move to my next topic. Chris, we'll start with you. What was your favorite match of the night? Genuinely, what was your favorite match?
I'm trying to think. Let me see. I mean, yeah, listen, Ospreay and Takeshita was tremendous. Was I disappointed that Takeshita lost a little bit, but the way they did the finish, it made sense. I had no issues with the finish. I don't know why listen, Ospreay and Fletcher, as good as it was, they did a little too much, as we always talk about in terms of the certain things you could do. I don't know. Did they break the rule? Because I had issues with my stream, so I couldn't see the whole match, and I didn't go back and watch it because I don't have any time. But did they drop each other in their necks more than 3 times? Would I have turned it off?
They got twice. They didn't get quite to 3.
Yeah, they didn't get 3.
Yeah.
All right. So it was really quality. Okay, my memory's so bad. Remind me of the first 2 or 3 matches on the card, please, because I know there was something good early on.
The first
MJF
match, yes, MJF and Page, which was an instant classic in how they formed the psychology of the match.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm happy you brought that up, because that we talk about MJF and his value and all the money he makes. And that is the reason why he stands above the majority of the people in the business as a worker. He's up there, echelon, not just AEW. I'm talking about the whole company, the whole industry, because he knows how to lay a match out. He knows how to make sense. He knows how to get the people to feel something. And the little things he did in that match, the nuances of being the coward, of kicking out, or even getting his foot on the rope in one spot that we talked about earlier, that we could have seen in the Punk Rollins match. Put your foot on the rope. Don't kick out of everything. And he makes Page look like $1 million, because Page isn't the best in the ring. He's quality. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's garbage, or should I say hot garbage? Sorry, Rich. So he's really good, but MJF is on another level, and he showed it. He showed why he's worth every dime that he gets paid in that match. And then we could also talk about Swerve and Ricochet, which was also really strong. And even though we didn't get the turn that I had mentioned us possibly getting with Nana, that match also did a lot of good things and told a good story. And yeah, it worked. I think that match worked also.
Yes.
Okay. Now, to speak about Swerve and expound on it, of course, I know that we all know what the ending to Revolution was, with Swerve actually coming out, attacking Moxley and getting that shot of Swerve just posing within the crowd at the Crypto.com arena, knowing that he's the number 1 contender and the next in line for the AEW World title. Now, in my opinion, I feel as if this doesn't truly end with Darby, if not Swerve, then who? So I feel like Swerve should go ahead and take the title off of Moxley. Do you guys feel the same?
Well, Nate, you gotta take this one first.
Swerve beating Moxley. See, the story that they're trying to tell, what I'm seeing, if I can kind of understand the Death Riders situation, is that Moxley is trying to hold the belt away from people that either don't deserve it or are not ready for the responsibility as being champ, because he views everybody else in the company as below him because they're too young, they're too greedy, all they want is money, etc., and they don't care about the work ethic of being a world champion. At least that's the explanation that I think that they're trying to give out over the airwaves. Swerve winning the belt, I don't necessarily see it happening. The reason why is because I thought if there was going to be a title change, that it would be Copeland winning it. That did not happen. So I think now what we're seeing is at some point, unless Darby Allin comes back off of Mount Everest within the next month or two, because Dynasty is next month. You're gonna have Double or Nothing in May, and then maybe they're going to do Forbidden Door in June. One of those pay-per-views, I have a feeling we're going to see at some point Darby Allin coming in and winning the belt, because it makes the most logical sense that if they're saying one of the last pillars of AEW comes back and is trying to champion the company, it would make sense to put it on Darby. I would love to see Swerve win the belt back and have that champion mindset of I'm AEW, this is my company, etc. I just don't think it's going to happen.
I agree with you, and I have no problem if they did it. The problem right now is Moxley. Moxley's the main problem. You hear the crowd groan every time he comes on screen to cut a promo, to do a match, anything. They don't want him to be the champion. And I'm not talking about just the internet. I'm talking about their radical fans. That fan base does not want him to be the champion. And when you have a company with MJF, Will Ospreay, Okada, and Kenny Omega in your company, and not one of the four is your main champion, you have a problem. Some way, somehow, they need to get one of those, for not so much Okada, because he doesn't, right now he pales in comparison to the aforementioned three. Ospreay, MJF, Omega need to be champion sooner than later. That's how you restore that title, and what Moxley's done to it, because this storyline of it being in a briefcase has gone nowhere. I don't care about it anymore. I don't know what the end game is. Will the end game matter when it's revealed? I don't know. I don't want to hear it play out. I don't want to see it play out. Get the title off Moxley any way possible.
And even more so, if the whole idea is this is the reason why they're doing it, because maybe they're going to make a new AEW World Title belt, okay, fine. The problem is your world champion has been champion since what? November? Moxley's been champion since around that time, November or December.
I don't know.
And not once have we seen that championship belt on television at all. I see more AEW World Championship belts in the crowd than we've seen of that man walking around with the belt inside of a giant Halliburton briefcase. Right. And the other part that I wanted to bring to light is what happened on Dynamite with Will Ospreay. I wanted to bring this up briefly. If the whole idea is to build towards All In, because now I think AEW has kind of slotted All In as their go-to WrestleMania style pay-per-view. That's in July. Ospreay coming off of the cage match, and he walked around, he was limping, he was visibly beaten up, bad hip, bad back, bruised up and everything. He's talking to Tony Schiavone in the ring and basically saying, I want to get my title shot, and I want to get the title shot in July at All In, potentially. And the only way to do it, since we know Swerve won his match, he's number one contender, he's going to get the next shot. We also know Copeland is going to get a rematch on Dynamite this Wednesday. I want my title shot. The only way I'm going to get my title shot is to win the Owen Cup. Excuse me, when did they announce the Owen Cup coming on?
Right.
When did they show any Chiron explaining it? When did they show any vignettes that they're going to describe that is an important storyline beat to just have Ospreay just flippantly talk about it when no one mentioned it on the show at all, not once?
Yeah, I like a fired up Nate. Nate, give it to them. Come on, Nate.
It doesn't make any sense. Ospreay, let's really be honest about this. Ospreay is the face of AEW right now. You know, if he's the face of your company, wouldn't you think to kind of prop him up by saying, going in, let's talk about the Owen Cup. Let's start showing vignettes of the women's Owen Cup and who previously won. And remember, last year, the Owen Cup was won by Adam Cole, who got the title shot at All In against MJF. Bring that up. Talk about that. Not to say that overtake it, but at least bring it up. If you know Ospreay is going to mention it in his promo, that doesn't make any sense to me.
But peeps. I think you're thinking of the first Owen Cup winner.
The first one, yeah, you're right. Yeah,
because wasn't the second one Starks?
Did Starks? Yeah, Starks.
Nightingale.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Because the first one was Cole and Britt Baker, and then next, But still, they could still show vignettes of those two Owen Cup past winners and talk about the importance and the prestige of it.
You're right.
They didn't do that.
You're right.
That's just me.
You know what? I almost forgot Britt Baker is single. I almost forgot that they're not a couple anymore. I gotta slide into her DMs and see if she can improve my oral health.
Oh boy.
Ladies and gentlemen, that surely marks the end of Saturday afternoon's main event.
Man, look at Uncle. Look at the uncle.
Hey! I didn't know I was back on. Hey, look. Hey, Caravan, listen, you had a pass this week. You was great today. You was great today. Listen, this will mark the end of Saturday afternoon's main event.
My ending.
Yeah. Intellectual property, baby. Woo, Nate. For that dude on top to the left of me, for his tag team partner. Oh, I guess you don't want to say his name either. So for Mr. 411, I am back. I am your Uncle Triple C. Hey, Mr. 411. Hey, we shut up.
Right.
We broadcast. Mr. 411.
That's it.
Thank you for the house. We will see you next week. This is Sane.